Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the RAVEMEN FR160 GPS computer light. If you're looking for a clever way to declutter your handlebars while still being daytime visible, the RAVEMEN FR160 is the perfect light. RAVEMEN has created a daytime bright COB LED headlight with a thin form factor that sandwiches between your GPS computer and the mount. Packaging wise, you can see nice orange and black color scheme. You have the product in full display here, so you can actually turn it on and off. You can look at the lens. So it looks great on a shelf. All the basic specs printed here, 160 lumen, the eye-catching. And then you can also see this is a updated version with the aluminum mounting tabs. Basic specs are printed on the rear as well. Let's go ahead and take this out of the box and go over the specs. So retail price on this is $36.95. As the product name suggests, this is a 160 lumen output, which is pretty impressive. Run times vary from 4 to 13.5 hours. You have a Garmin mount, but they also have a Wahoo variation for the same price. And you have a wraparound COB LED. It also has USB Type-C charging, so you can reuse your existing cables. And it's IPX6 rated, so it can handle wet weather without any issues. In terms of what comes with it, you get a USB Type-C charging cable, and then an insurance card, as well as a little instruction manual. Now let's take a look at the weight of the FR160. Comes in at 55 grams, so quite light. The RAVEMEN FR160 GPS computer is one of those ideas that seem really obvious once you see it. It takes a common daytime bright headlight and combines it between your computer and your mount for a very seamless and clean setup. So you don't have to have a bulky light or mount it underneath. Instead, everything is really all in one. You don't need any additional spots. It has a thin form factor with this wraparound lens that ensures you're visible from any angle. And if this looks familiar to you, it's because it's actually very similar to the fabric Lumen that's almost identical to this, but it's no longer available. So it's great that RAVEMEN has come in with a replacement product. This is a more modern variation of that. You actually have USB Type-C charging, which is really nice to see, and 160 output. So pretty decent output with the modern LEDs. You can see you have a trapezoidal form factor, so if you look from the top, it's wider in the front and more narrow in the rear. You have this little beveling, which is a nice detail. Basic branding with RAVEMEN printed on top, FR160 on the sides. And then you have some exposed hardware here that holds the whole thing together with a Garmin puck on the bottom and a Garmin adapter on the top. You can also get this in a Wahoo variation, which I think will just swap out this little puck with the rotated Wahoo option. It's a pretty sleek idea, and then you can see very thin with a power button on the rear and the USB Type-C charging. The lens itself is really cool, so it's a wraparound design, and you can see a little curve on the edge. These little vertical deflectors. It looks yellow when the light's off because of the chemical on the inside actually reflecting the yellow color. And when you turn it on, it's obviously white. You have 6 different modes with a single press to cycle through it. And you can see individual LEDs on the inside. So very nice design, and although it doesn't really light up the road, you can see even in the full power modes, it's more of a be seen light. With the flash modes, you're definitely going to be seen. And with that wraparound design, you're seen from very high angles as well. To illustrate the mounting on this, we'll take one of our out front mounts, and you can see standard Garmin quarter turn mount. Rotate it in to lock into place. And then you can take your computer. Here's our IGP Sport BSC300, rotate it in place. You can see you don't get that nice click that you got with the bottom mount one, but still very secure. And even with the smaller computer, that light is mostly invisible. With your bigger GPS computers, you're not even going to see that it's here because the GPS computer will be much wider than the light. You can see from the side profile, the light is almost as thin or a little bit thinner to the actual computer. So you get a really sleek look, and you get it all in one. So it's a great concept, and we're happy to see it again on the market. The FR160 has 6 different output modes. You have 3 constant modes and 3 flash modes. 3 constant modes are a bit overkill, as there's not that much difference between low, medium, and high. You probably want to stick to low and medium rather than the full output 50 lumen mode. There are a couple cool flash modes. To unlock the full 160 lumens, you use a warning flash. Then you have a more efficient rapid flash, gives you 12.5 hours, and a slow flash that is 8 hours and more of a nighttime flash. In the daytime, this light is bright enough, especially with that 160 lumens. You don't have a focused LED, but that COB LED does a good job. So you can see even in the bright sun, you'll still be visible. And it's a very compact light, so it doesn't add any bulk to your handlebars. Here you can see it set up on our specialized tarmac with the iGP Sport GPS on top. And you can see a very slick setup. The wraparound LED means you're visible from almost any angle. And at full nighttime, it actually lights up your full handlebars, so you can actually see the controls even easier. You can see it's nearly hidden, even with a smaller GPS computer. I don't really see it from the top. And with anything bigger, it's completely invisible. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the RAVEMEN FR160. What we like about it is it has a very compact form factor. It simply sandwiches between your mount and your GPS computer, so you don't need any additional mounts or dual-sided out front mounts to attach a light. It also has an attractive wraparound COB LED design that really lights up the handlebars and gives you great side visibility. RAVEMEN has also added a modern USB Type-C charging port so you can reuse your existing cables. The main negatives with the light is the fact that it does have a basic battery status, just shows when it gets very low. You don't have a multi-level indicator. Also, that rear button placement can be hard to reach, especially when you have a bigger GPS. You have to really reach underneath it to access it. It would have been nicer if it was a side button, like the previous fabric Lumen. Also, the top Garmin mount lacks that typical click that you have when you're attaching devices, so it just feels like a friction mount rather than having a nice positive engagement right when you get to that 90-degree point. Taking everything into account would give the FR160 a 9.2 out of 10. It's a very compact, daytime bright light that doesn't require any additional space on your handlebars. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclists. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.